Well, good afternoon, friends. Yesterday we had a third session for the finances, the issue of finances for the energy efficiency applications, equipments, and whatever we want to do with that, energy efficiency projects. I think the debated points, the suggestions that came, the points are already put forward on the board, on the placard, on the clipboard. You can have a look at it so you can understand the intensity of a debate what we have. To the number one A is a financial barrier to adopt. The following points have arisen about the discussions. It's first and foremost what everybody feels, that low awareness of energy efficient technologies. Forget about the finance. Finance is the second stage. Awareness was not there, that was a feeling. Credibility of the consultant doing energy efficiency audit. It's not that credibility means the real sense of the credentials of the person per se, but whether he understands the process, whether he understands for what purpose he is making the energy audits, and what ultimately is to be determined out of the energy audits. So in that context, the credibility was an issue which was discussed. No sharing of information among the units, that even in the afternoon we were debated on that. Then higher rate of interest, that's again a question pertinent to the barrier. So that was discussed, debated. Lack of competent people in financial institutes and bank. Again, let us take it in a very decent manner. Competent means the awareness or the technology information. So that's the way the people they fell. Then term as a priority sector, but actually no priority is given. If you see the government of India, we always say that small scale units are the priority sector, but the feeling amongst all across the people is that they are not cared as the priority sector. So anyway, those things has to be thought of. Then mind blocks of financial institution and the bankers and the entrepreneurs both ways. You know, as it is, the volumes are low. Although it was felt that the bankers are not caring for this kind of finances, especially for the energy efficient finances, and the entrepreneurs also feels that because the priorities are different for both of them. So how to make it compatible, that is the issue which was debated. Then the environmental laws, whether it has to be enforced very strictly so some awareness could be spread, or whether it has to be done voluntarily with the help of NGOs. Then as right now mentioned, the volume of loan is small and high processing cost at a time. When you, okay, these are the issues for the pertinent to the question number one, what it was discussed. For B, how can procedure be simplified? That was the issue. And then the cautious evolved is, amount is small, process time and cost is high for banker and for the entrepreneur. Because in a suppose 3 man days, if they can process a 10 crore rupees project, why they should spend 3 man days for say maybe a couple of lakhs project? This is what the bankers they will feel, and the entrepreneur ultimately, when banks wants him to comply with so many of the documentation, he spends his mandates. So the priority to spend that kind of mandates and the expenses, actually out of pocket cash expenses and the mandate spend over that is the issue that was the cautious failed, that it is in-proportional. Then one more suggestion, it came very valid and valuable, is the aggregate the funds requirement for all, in the same cluster, and this could be economical. So if you have, say, you have the foundry cluster together, 20 foundries come together, they discuss with the technology people, they decide to go for one particular technology, they made a community proposal, and as a group, they go. Even today morning, my colleague in Institute, Mr. Ravi Sehgal, referred to the same. They could able to bargain with Punjab National Bank in Howrah Foundry Cluster. So similarly, some attempts could be done in this way for energy efficiency, implementation of energy efficiency technologies. A group come together and approach to the bankers. Bankers are happy because in one go, they get 20 proposals. In the same 3 man days, what they are going to spend, they are going to get good potential business. So that was a very valid suggestions, what it came. And then the third feeling it came that government provide incentives since a group is making the proposal. So naturally, I think government bodies are there, available. They want to propagate their schemes, and they always complain that they don't have the takers. So in these circumstances, I think the MSME ministry also looks forward for formation of SPVs, not for this purpose, for all the purposes, for all the facilities. So I think the government will also come forward to this. So these are the few suggestions they came for how the procedures can be simplified. And the last one is the support required for formulation and evaluation of energy efficiency project. Of course, when in this reference, the support means the financial supports mainly. The first thing everybody failed that we have to define the bottom line. So the energy meters. So the cost of energy meters, just now I was talking to our panel, one of the panel experts. The installation of energy meters is the first thing. You define the baseline and then you go for the exercise to reduce it. So that what happens, the energy meters, you spend few thousands for that, may not be lakhs, but you spend, and if you had the software compatible, that may go in a 1 lakh or something like that. That's a sum which is difficult to spend from the regular cash flow because their priorities are different, and for such a small sum, the finances are not available from the banker because banker will, they will just laugh at you. So what solutions could be done for that? So this is the thing what has been discussed. Lack of information about the equipment manufacturers. So energy equipment manufacturers, what all are about? What are the manufacturing facilities available? What the equipments are available? That information is not properly disseminated to the user industries. So once that is, that support has been provided, then the awareness will be generated more. Then no accreditation to EE equipments by BE. That is the issue which was discussed at length. As you have for the domestic consumable items, you have the ratings. Similarly, the ratings could be made for the typical used equipment. Say in case of foundry, okay, maybe the induction furnace, which is typically used, and it will be very convenient to give the rating for that. So this issue was discussed. And then think of tax rebates instead of subsidy, because there was an issue which we have discussed that about the subsidizing the finances and loans or the concessions. But okay, let us do something after we really execute the energy efficiency project. Okay, not evolve, but I can say that in corporations, at least in Pune Corporation, they gives you a concession in your building cess in the taxation if you have made the rain harvesting. So something that kind of concessions could be offered that if you have the energy efficiency measures taken, the concessions could be there in your taxes. So, and everything, that's a win-win situation, and that's a good encouragement. That's what the cautious was developed. And then common facility center of formation of SPVs, that everybody has known, it has been debated again and again. And the last point which was discussed was a special agency to assist bankers and entrepreneurs. That was, I put a star over this particular comment, because that's a very important and very valid comment our group has thought, because the language what the entrepreneur speaks should be compatible to the bankers, and the bankers what they speak in the language, it should be properly understood by the entrepreneurs per se in reference to the energy efficient technologies. Because once they know what technologies are there, what the cost is going to be involved, and what is the procedure to get those things benefited, then and then only it is possible, the compatibility will be very convenient, and the exercise will pass through very comfortably and conveniently. So gentlemen, these are the observations, and this is the cautious develop in my group. I can say at the end, my comment is that my group was a very enlightened and very pious group. The bankers from my group, they were thinking of the entrepreneurs, and the entrepreneurs from my group, they were caring for the bankers. So if this harmony really prevails, I hope the things will be go very comfortably. Well, thank you very much.